As we welcome you into the space of prayerful meditation, I am excited to welcome you to the Infinity Fellowship. Greetings, you all. We are virtual and we are live at the same time. So I'm bringing you greetings from the Infinity Center, 641 West Nocturne Drive. And for those of you who may have just gotten a great notification and said, what's happening in the world? I am Jeff Obafemi Carr, also known as Rev Jeff, here at the Infinity Fellowship. And I'm so grateful that you just took the time to come by today to be a part of this spiritual ceremony, this spiritual ritual that we call the Infinity Fellowship, your Sunday church, unchurched church, non-churching churches, all kind of CH songs and sounds that are coming out of the space today. We greet you and we welcome you here to Infinity. In a moment, we're going to invite you to share this energy with a friend of yours, to get those numbers up on that live stream for people who have come for an interspiritual Sunday service that is beyond the framework of religious designations. So those of you who have arrived, who are in the space of spirituality, you might not necessarily be religious, you found a home and community right here at the Infinity Fellowship. And in recognition of that, in celebration of that divine energy, I invite you to take a deep breath, inhale, and just let it all go into the atmosphere. Sometimes a deep breath might encourage a sneeze, it might encourage a belch, it might encourage some other bodily function. And as the yogic teacher will say, you don't withhold any urges. That's your body saying, hey, I'm awake, I'm alive. So we invite you to awaken that body right now, to bring it alive with an inhale and an exhale. And just continue to breathe like that. Not conscious of controlling your breath, but conscious of the breath itself. There is a feeling you get when you get a deep breath. There is a movement in your body. There is a stimulation of your very cellular structure. There is an awakening of the consciousness in your DNA. There is something that happens when you breathe. And as we embrace this breath, as we embrace this prana, as we embrace this life force, as we embrace this kundalini, as we embrace this ashe, we recognize that we are grateful. We are grateful for the ability to inhale and to exhale. We are grateful for the ability to add to these moments the practice of closing our eyes from bottom to top, top to bottom. Not squeezing them shut, but just allowing them to close. Sitting in this space of goodness, sitting in this space of life, sitting in this space of recognition of peace, sitting in this space of understanding, sitting in this space of joy. As the elders used to sing, I've got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. We've got the joy, 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 joy all in my breath right now, inhaling. Exhaling and releasing any held tension in your muscular structure. Sitting in the peacefulness of recognition of I am. And as we prepare ourselves, speaking and speaking to the God of your acceptance and understanding, it is so beautiful and awesome and wonderful that we prepare ourselves through breathing. Breathing gives us the clarity we need to stay focused beyond the things that would distract us in the world, and to focus solely on one beautiful truth of existence. That is that we are not praying to the God of your acceptance and understanding. We are praying with, because we are acknowledging the awareness of the always infinite presence of the divine source of all creation, our creator, our mother God, our father God, our energy of all that is, was, and ever shall be. And it is in this moment that we acknowledge and open our hearts as we bow our heads and go into the space of prayer. We call it pouring energy into realignment for manifestation at infinity. Divine source, all wise, all knowing, all loving God, we give thanks for you in this moment, for your presence in this space. We know that presence is perception. And so for those who are gathered here in the space today, we speak acknowledgement in thanksgiving. For those who are presenting today, to those who are supporting the technology today through technology, for those who are tuned in from around the world in the infinite life stream, we give thanks right now. I give a special thanks today for all of those who may have found their way here, who thought it was an accident. And maybe their hearts know that this is exactly where they're supposed to be, that some message today was for them, that the recognition that there is community for that person and for those people is a paramount example of why Infinity Fellowship exists, to love for all through a powerful spirit of high vibration. And from that powerful spirit of high frequency vibration that brings to us and tunes us with alignment, with prosperity, with abundance, with love, with action, with social justice, with all of the things that we were put on this earth to do, we give thanks. And from this bubble of gratitude that is emanating from our hearts into the spaces around the world, connecting us person to person, heart to heart, soul to soul, we give thanks on this beautiful day that we acknowledge in the U.S. as Father's Day. And so we give thanks for all of the fathers out there in the world today. We recognize your DNA contribution to humanity moving forward. That's what fathers do. And on Father's Day, we also particularly recognize the daddies out there. The dads and the daddies is translated in ancient language. There's something closer than that. We always used to say, and we were taught in the community, that anyone can father a child, but everybody can't be a daddy to that child. So I'm speaking out there in gratitude for those of you who have been the dads out there in the world that this world has needed. For those who have stood by and listened to those difficult conversations and refused to open their mouths because you just wanted to not fix it instantly, but you had to learn how to listen. Listen to your mate and your spouse and your lady and your friends and your family and those who have been around it. I know, dads, you just want to fix things, but give thanks for the ability to tune the listening ear. For those who have provided the support when the children were coming into the world, for those who were in the room, whether it was the hospital room, whether it was the bedroom with the midwife, and had the pleasure and the opportunity to be in all of the birth of creation, who cut the umbilical cords, who changed the diapers, who traveled to the sports games, who stood in the office with the principal. For those of you who put in that work, this is the day that we honor you. And we say thank you because our communities are made strong by that balance between the divine presence of female and male energy. And so we give thanks to those of you who may not have biological children out in the world, but have been a father figure for somebody else. You've been a good uncle. You've been a good big brother. You've been someone who stood there at the gates of the community center and kept the harm from coming to the children in your purview. Wherever you may have been, in the classroom, helping to enlighten the minds of the next generation and inspiring them to be who they are born to be. We are speaking in honor of you for the labor that you have put in, for the work that you've put in, for the time that you've spent on the highways and the byways making sure that you were going to be present. This is the day that we acknowledge that divine masculine. For those who are on the journey to becoming better in those spaces, we speak prayers and blessings over you as well. We speak that families can be healed, put back together, that things that seem impossible are now made possible through you. And as we acknowledge this space today, we turn our intention and attention toward this spirit of joyful healing. This has been our theme all month, that we are healing from a space of joy. Those things that come externally that make us happy dissipate in the inner space of being knowing in our being that all is well. That's a joyful space today. And from that joyful space, we speak blessings onto those who have had relatives transition this week. We know that we've had a lot of movement in the universe, and we speak that energy over the family of Ernestine Fuller and the entire Fuller family down in Columbus, Georgia. Know that this family stands with you. This community stands with you. And we understand that Big Sis was a very powerful part of that family. And we send our love and comfort your way. We send our energy to the Davis family and the passing of Mother Marie, to Brother Vincent and Vernon and all of the Davis clan and all the Tennessee State University family. We got you lifted today. And know that the comfort is that when energy dissipates, it does not go away, it simply changes form. So as science works in hand with scripture, that absence in the body is presence with divine source, with divine creation. That we speak that you have the peace that passes all understanding and knowing that all is well. We speak comfort, we speak energy through the breath in our body. And we speak gratitude and thanksgiving for this fellowship, for those who have been here in this space, who find it home. May we continue to live with one another in power, to love on one another, on this screen, in this building, in our communities without walls, to remind us all that we are loved because we are made in the image and likeness of you. And as we breathe together today, as we speak from this space of clarity, we give thanks for these things and for things that we cannot even put into words. We breathe in together in gratitude. Exhale and release. We speak it as such, and so it is. Amen. Amen. Hotep. Shalom. Namaste. Ashe. And so it is. Let us prepare our minds and our hearts for the pouring of libations. Today, as we pour our libations and we prepare to pour libations into the world, to add to our consciousness the space of goodness, of love, of power, we invite you to begin to recognize those who have come before, the ancestors upon whose shoulders we proudly and humbly stand. When we pour libations with water, we pour into the earth at our altar. We recognize the completion of the divine circle of life, the space of transition from this earthly suit that we are wearing, that we give names to and designations to and degrees to. We acknowledge that transition into the space where we shed this earthly shell. And we recognize that death is simply a doorway. And we enter into that doorway, and all of us will. And as we do so, we would speak to you that the works that you do in this life will speak for you. That you will be remembered through the stories that people tell about you and what you put into this life. Pouring of libations is an important part of spiritual ceremony. It dates back to ancient times. And as we date it back to ancient times, we recognize that this is the power that got us through, recognizing that we did not get here all by ourselves. It also is the recognition that we are not alone. That when we enter a room, we enter with all our relations. And although you may not be able to physically see them, you can feel them in the very genes that are in your body. You can feel them in the strands of DNA. That this generational memory gives us power, that this generational commitment to healing heals us 7 generations forward and 7 generations behind us. And so in this space of acknowledgement, we pour with the cool water. The Yoruba people call it omi tutu. The cool water, the establishment that from a calm and flowing space, we recognize that all is connected and therefore we are protected. So when we get ready to pour this into the earth that represents what happens to this earth suit when we no longer need it, we acknowledge the presence of the divine, of God, of the God of your acceptance and understanding. And we acknowledge then the presence of those who have gone before. In this moment today, we have a few people that we like to recognize so that you can know in your consciousness that as you are calling the names of your people, they're being called with the names of other folks who may bring us together in powerful public ways. One of the energies that we pour to today is to the energy of Reverend Dr. James Lawson Jr., Ashe. Reverend James Lawson made it to 95 years old, considered one of the fathers of the modern civil rights movement. I had the privilege and pleasure of meeting Reverend James Lawson when he came down to celebrate the anniversary of the sit-ins and to celebrate with us the work that we were doing in activism in the 1989-90 school year. Had another privilege 16 years ago to perform a wedding ceremony, Al and Stephanie Pruitt Gaines, down at the Tennessee Park downtown. Had an opportunity to stand shoulder to shoulder with this giant and assist in putting a family together. What a blessing to have his energy in the world, to see that justice can be seen and felt by all. To Reverend Lawson and your family, we say thank you and ashe. To the father of the Black Studies movement, Africana Studies and beyond, the legendary Dr. Nathan Hare, ashe. We remember his energy and all that he has put into the world that has now become the task, the joyful mission of replacing the pages in world history that relate to people of color, to African descent folks, to everybody, putting those pages back in the book of world history and culture. We salute you. We made it to 91. What a wonderful life. Of course, we pour to the energies of our sister-in-law, Sister Ernestine Fuller, ashe, that you are recognized in this place. Everything that you have done in the course of this family for Jennifer, for Ashley and Ebony, for Randy, for everybody on that side of the family. We send comfort to your family and send your spirit into the space of acknowledgement and recognition. To one of our community adjacent babas or fathers down in the Bahamas, the father of our good brother, Dr. Donovan E. Moxie, Baba Lasardo Edberth Moxie, ashe. What a wonderful life to have produced a wonderful family and been a part of being a good daddy all the way through. Even with the 6th grade education, to rise to be a businessman and a well-respected human being who was there as the cornerstone. We send love to you in this moment. And to Sister Marie Davis, Mother Marie Davis, mother of Brother Vincent Davis, we send the energy into the world for you. We recognize that as they celebrate your life this week, know that the Infinity Fellowship is thinking about the legacy that you have left through your children and your grands. Ashe. As we prepare to go to the altar, we ask that you think of the people that you want to recognize. And you can go ahead and type some of them into the chat if you'd like. Put 1 or 2 names in. See how it feels to come to that memory. And we'll call the rest aloud as we pour. Ashe. And we say, cool water, freshen our spirits. Ashe. Freshen and consecrate this house for spiritual work. Ashe. Freshen our collective ancestors all together. Ashe. We give praise to Almighty Mother, Father God, Divine Source, and all of creation. Ashe. Grant to us peace and prosperity. Ashe. We pour to the cardinal directions of the north, where we find a sense of being a yesterday in the world. Ashe. We pour to the energies of the south, where we recognize who we are and whose we are. Ashe. To the energies of the east, knowing that the sun rose today and gave us another chance. Why don't you give yourself another chance and leave yesterday where it belongs? Ashe. To the energies of the west, knowing that even as the sun goes down, we're provided with the moon and the stars, recognizing not just physically and physiologically and scientifically, but spiritually, that even in the darkness, there will always be a light provided for you. Ashe. To the energies of the ground below us, that fifth direction, may you be rooted in a way that gives you joyful confidence, so that even as the storm may come, you recognize and accept that it is better to bend than it is to break. Ashe. To the sky above us, the beautiful blank landscape where we see our dreams, may you always be conscious that you have the power and ability to see it, to speak it, and then to claim it in manifest reality. Ashe. And finally, to the seventh direction that brings all of those directions together in the Lakota people's tradition, that indigenous philosophy and spiritual practice that reminds us that all roads are crossroads. And when we come to the crossroads, there are choices that we make. The grand central station intersection of all the seven directions is the heart. So in your heart, may your heart always be pure and light as a feather. Ashe. So as we pour these next few pours of water, feel free to speak aloud the names of your ancestors, or you can type them in the chat as we recognize them today. And finally, for the children in the womb, in the world, and yet unborn, we say together around the world, Ashe, 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 oh, it is done.
Well, good morning, Infinity. Good morning. So we're here with a statement of infinitude. Greetings. I am Lady Kanitha Carr, and I'm pleased to welcome you to the Infinity Fellowship. We pause to remind you of the four core principles of our gathering. We call it SNAP. Now, what is SNAP? So in SNAP, the S is for spirituality that transcends religion and connects you to the God of your own understanding. The N in SNAP is for nurturing of ourselves and others, mind, body, and spirit. The A is for action, because we take action on our callings and walk in our divine purpose every day. And finally, y'all, you know this is important. The P is for the proof that our spiritual practices manifest fruit in our lives through the building and maintaining of healthy and prosperous families, relationships, careers, and dreams. Guess what? We are so grateful you all are here as unique manifestations of our Creator, the loving, living spirit of our commonality, the divine source of all creation, perceived by many names, yet known by only one energy. This is the foundational practice of true interspirituality, where all are affirmed in love energy. So guess what? I invite you all at home and in this space to stand with me and join me in our statement of infinitude. We agree that we are beings of pure, eternal spirit, birthed from the creative potential of the universe, with all the powers of the Creator inherent within us. We embrace the innate goodness of humankind and an abundant creation that provides for us through the seeds that we plant in our everyday lives. We acknowledge that who we are is housed in a temporary biological organism, and as such, it is our responsibility to take care of it because it will only last for a precious window of time. As we nurture ourselves spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically, we commit to provide like acts of nurturing for our fellow brothers and sisters of the world we live in, embracing all regardless of religious faith, skin color, ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation, or socioeconomic background. All are truly welcome at infinity. We agree and accept that various religions exist as a unique opportunity for humanity to get to know one another through meaningful conversations that seek to explore the core concepts we share in common. It is the application of ancient wisdom, scientific discovery, and spiritual practices, both physical and metaphysical, that will lead us closer together as a human family. We commit to exist now and ever as a beloved community. Let it be so according to the many ancient terms of affirmation. Amen, Amin, Hotep, Shalom, Namaste, Ashe.
And so it is. Oh, what a wonderful moment. Good morning, Lady Ganitha.
Good morning.
It's good to see you over there. How you doing?
Great. How are
Oh,
you? Happy Father's Day.
Thank you. It is Happy Father's Day. I couldn't find the picture, but I'm sure I will at some point.
Yes.
It's going to be great. But we appreciate you lighting up our screen today. I'm grateful for you. Grateful for you and the suit and the look and the
And
power.
you too.
Well, thank you very much. I
Looking
feel-
nice and sharp
I'm
on
trying,
Father's
we're
Day.
gonna try to, we got to bring it in for the dads in the room out there. We got to show them. I ain't quite cat daddy age yet, but I'm not gonna get to that.
No,
I'm not
you're
gonna be
not.
cat daddy.
Okay.
Yeah. And y'all, my family are not gonna let me get to cat
No,
daddy age.
Lord, no.
My wife has threatened to put me in a jogging suit with some
Yes,
dress shoes and black socks one day. It's not happening. I'm telling y'all right now. If y'all ever see me out in public like that, y'all call my family and say, "Don't do him like that. Don't do him like that. Don't take me to the cookout in the dress socks
With
and
the
the shorts."
dress socks,
I'm
we're going
not
to get
doing
you
it.
ready.
We ain't doing it. We ain't doing it. But what we're going to do is generate gratitude today. So listen, I'm going to pull up y'all chat overlay so we can see what y'all are going to say while we're singing at the same time. I'm going to invite you to generate gratitude with us today by letting us know who you are, let us know your name, and one thing that you're grateful for. Come on, Infinite Life Streamers, even if you're brand new, just tell us one thing that you're grateful for. It can just be as simple, as small as you want it to be, but it's going to be awesome. We're going to sing it together. All right, let's go.
Morning. A good morning to you. A good morning to you. A good morning to you. Good morning to you. And we say, a da 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 da, a da 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 da, a da 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 da. Hey, good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Hey, as you're typing it in, come on, let's generate that gratitude and going on for everyone. And to all my littles, good morning to you. Everyone, we are up and ready for a good service. And we say, da 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 da. Oh, good morning to you.
We see y'all. Come on.
A good morning to you. A good morning to you. 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 Good morning to you.
Oh, man, what a moment of gratitude. Look, y'all, we see you, man. Thank y'all for putting the chats and the comments in to let everybody know. We see you, Magala. We send the love back to you. Send us that Cash App so we can send that son, that gift. We got to send Sean. We got to send out our graduate gifts. So send us that info to our inbox some kind of way. Sister Christina, we see you as well. Angela, Tashana, Sister Courtney, Brother Martin, just everybody. Sister Lisa, good to see you. Kira in the house today. We got Iris in the house today. We got everybody just popping in and saying hello. Listen, new folks, everybody, one thing that you're grateful for, keep that energy going, because that energy is what is going to keep this fire in your belly burning when you need it, because sometimes the world can be cold. But we know that when you begin to practice an attitude of gratitude, it is infectious. And we give thanks to you. And we speak that you will continue to amplify all of those things that you're grateful for, because little becomes much. And if you're faithful over a few things, you will be made ruler over many. And so be faithful over the few things that you can be grateful for. And so it is. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Take a deep breath here and exhale. Good. We're ready to welcome our first-time visitors to Infinity Fellowship as we snap. Again, my name is Jeff Obafemi Carr. In the space here, I go by Rev Jeff, and I am the Chief Spiritual Officer and co-founder of the Infinity Fellowship. If you are brand new to Infinity, I want to welcome you home. And we just literally want to welcome you to the core of consciousness, the space we call the apex of authenticity. This is the space where you belong, and this is the space where hopefully you feel connection to folks. So listen, if you're a first timer, I'm going to put a slide on the screen right now that allows you to scan a QR code, and I'm also going to drop a link in the chat. And as we drop this on you, this is a simple hello form. If you'll go to it at some point today, if you're watching the replay, go to it at another time later. We understand. And there's a chat link, of course, that you can click on to go directly to the form. And we invite you to go there and just give us a little bit of information. We don't sell lists or put you onto a service where you're going to get a ton of emails. We have a box on there where you can select if you want to hear from us. Also, for those of you who have been watching and coming and being a part of Infinity, and you feel like it's time for you to join, there's a box on there where you can check at too. And we'll put you into new members orientations. People are still high from our last new members orientation, as they should be. And we're going to get you ready for our summer new members orientation. Listen, this may be your first physical time at Infinity, but we want to let you know that we see the real you. If you are a first-time visitor and you're comfortable, go ahead and share first-timer in the chat box and just say first time, or this is my first time. Or if you're savvy enough, do that little arrow that points to yourself, whatever that may be. But whatever it is, people who have been here before are going to shower you with some love, some hearts, some likes. If you are watching on YouTube, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button under the frame. Go ahead and send us some hearts. If you're on Twitter watching us live, or X as it's called now, go ahead and hit the retweet and share. And of course, if you're on Facebook, go ahead and hit those thumbs up. We're glad that we've got 2 platforms that we're broadcasting on Facebook, and 4 in total. So hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the share. Let's get into a space of thanksgiving. For our first-time visitors, we want to let you know that we see you for who you truly are. You're not just a human being who showed up to have a spiritual experience today. It's the other way around. You're a spirit who is navigating the human experience, just like the rest of us. And so we like to put our hands up in your direction and send you a special affirmation of love. And when people are in the space, I usually ask them to repeat after me, and you'll hear this. But listen, if you're at home, wherever you are, all you have to do is receive this. If you're with somebody at home, you can repeat it to them. But here in the space, just me to you, take a deep breath and exhale. Let it go. That's awesome. And listen to this. I've got something to say. I see you, but you don't hear me though. I really see the real you. I see who you are. You are a divine manifestation of God's creation. I see what you are. You are a spirit. You're more than what's on the outside. You are a gift to me and to the entire world. I see where you are. You're right here in front of me, where I can let you know that you are not alone. We're with you. I'm with you. We are at home. I see when you are in the right now, baby. You are so much more than your yesterday. And I see why you are. You're here to learn, to grow, to embrace your dreams, to celebrate your divine destiny. And I know all of this because I'm here to do the same. So we're going to help each other out. So I'm pleased to say that I know the real you, and I see you shining today. So welcome to infinity. Welcome home. Asheo! We're going to play a little music. Give a fist bump to a first timer. Hey, give a fist bump to somebody as they're taking a picture of the slide as they're scanning the QR code, scanning the QR code as they're clicking on the link that was shared. Scroll up if you need it there. Welcome to the visitors, yeah. Yeah, I'm feeling good now. Hey. I'm feeling right now. I'm feeling good now. Hey, I'm feeling good now. Hey, if you know that it's Father's Day, it's Father's Day. Hey, See, they're gassing me up in the space, right? Hey. Hey, Father. No, see, y'all gonna. I got a little black and gold on, so I'm gonna try to get in, not today. But we say thank you, and that's how excited it is with here. Y'all know when we're in person on our first Sundays, it goes crazy in here. We welcome our visitors, and we just love on each other from a powerful frequency vibration. We want you to be yourself. Why? Because like the sign in the lobby says, everyone else is already taken. So welcome visitors, welcome first timers. It's a wonderful moment for us to right now prepare ourselves for our offering. It's giving time, and so it is. As we prepare for our giving in the space today, we've got a visitor somewhere in the space out there. So we're gonna allow somebody to help take care of that. It's going to be all right. But it's our giving space today. And as we are giving you all, we want to tune you into the frequency vibration of abundance. And that frequency vibration of abundance comes from a giving spirit. Have you been struggling in your life, in your world, with having flow issues, where things are blocked? Whether you're blocked in your ability to proceed at work because you keep hitting the ceiling, whether relationships are experiencing immense blockage, there's consistent blockage across the board. When people come to me with blockages, I say, well, how is your giving? And they say, what do you mean? I said, well, how is your giving? Do you give into the universe? Do you give in a space that provides you with spiritual food? And people say, well, no, I rake, the yard, I volunteer and stuff. I said, that's great. But here's where the stakes are. When you go out and you do the physical labor and you bring your money home, do you pause to take a percentage of that to pour back into spaces or people that provide you with the spiritual food that gets you going and keeps you sustained? And some people say, well, I hadn't thought about it like that. Well, that's great, because now here's your opportunity to think about it. If you're matching a frequency of love and abundance, but you're operating in a space of holding back and saying, one day I'm going to become a giver, then guess what? The universe amplifies that signal. And it says, one day you're going to become a giver. You're going to get more of one day you're going to become a giver. But when you say, I am a giver because I am practicing this, the universe responds. And it responds above and beyond what you already have. See, you're already breathing, right? You're already walking around conscious. You're already understanding and comprehending prayerfully what I'm saying right now. You're also able to make the choice right now to say, I don't know if I want to give or not. I don't know if I want to participate on the next level or not. I am so informed by my previous circumstances and my trauma. You're able to get inside your head like that. Guess what? What a blessing it is that your synapses and your synaptic and neurological patterns are firing like that. Whoa, what a gift that many people would die for. So in this moment of gratitude, our offering is about giving from a grateful space and knowing that as we open our frequency and match it to giving, we give the universe permission to shower us with infinite blessings above and beyond what we could imagine. That's why I'm always excited about giving. So pull out your phone, your device. You can give via PayPal. You can give via Cash App. You can give via mail. You can put it in the mail at 641 West Nocturne Drive, and we will have a slide for you up in a minute. So right now, we're going to supercharge this energy as you're pulling your devices, checkbooks out, whatever it may be. As you are doing this, we want to supercharge this offering with intent. So when you do something with intent and focus, you are definitely changing the dial on the radio station to get to the frequency that you want to hear. So let us in this space right now today. Let us take a deep breath, exhale and let it go. And let us repeat our offertory affirmation, which is on your screen at this time. O limitless, abundant Creator, source of everything I possess, you have given me the gifts of life, breath, and creativity. You continue to provide for me without judgment or preference. And so I freely return these gifts to you with my whole heart, mind, and intention, knowing that as I give freely with both remembrance and gratitude, the circle of abundance will be unbroken, and so it is. We sing a good song when we give. It's called Everything is Good. Sing it with us now.
Everything is good. Everything is good. Everything is good. Oh, everything is good. And I've got it. I've got it. Oh, I've got it good. Hey, yeah. Everything is good. Yeah. Everything is good. Yes, it is. Everything is good. Oh, everything is good. And I've got it. I've got it. Oh, I've got it good. Come on, y'all. Everything is good. Yeah, everything is good. Yes, it is. Everything is good. Oh, everything is good. And I've got it. I've got it. Oh, I've got it good. Hey, remind yourself everything is good. Yeah, everything is good. Yes, it is. Everything is good. Oh, everything is good. And I've got it. I've got it. Oh, I've got it good. Hey, everything. Yes, it is. Everything is good. Come on, y'all. Everything is good. Oh, everything is good. And I've got it. I've got it. Oh, I've got it good. I can feel y'all out there. Everything
We've got it good, y'all.
Yes.
We've got it good up in this piece today. Yes, 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 yes. So as you are giving, as you continue to give, that link is still open. That link is still active even after service. Let the church say amen. Amen. We had a little friend in here. Get in here, didn't we, Lady Kanitha? So in a minute, we got a little, we got a wasp that got in through one of the basement areas, I'm guessing, because it's that season. And so they just sometimes get in there. So we're just keeping a mindful eye out for many reasons, just because we want to make sure that we are protected and safe, of course. And we also want to make sure that we don't end up, we've never ended up on church funny videos. So shout out to y'all. We don't want to start. Amen. That would be hilarious. But if it is, it's so much as it is, it shall be. So listen, as you give, as you continue to give in this moment, we want to give you a few announcements before we get into the meat of our service and what we're doing. I also want to invite you through the link that you see. If you're holding your phone up to the screen on YouTube, you can catch it at the bottom of the frame that I'm in now. You also can catch the link inside the chat to our Standing Ovations form. So this is your early warning, y'all, to get to the Standing Ovations form and put in your standing ovation today. If you're brand new, a standing ovation is something that you have experienced manifest in your life, particularly as a result of your spiritual practice. There's a link that you can go in there and just fill it out for us. Tell us briefly what's going on and what has happened in your life. It is a moment that we celebrate what the members of Infinity and the friends of Infinity have accomplished in their lives. So we invite you to join that frequency of standing ovation, early warning again. Click the link that's in your chat wherever you are and share that standing ovation on the actual link on the form. It takes a couple of minutes to populate. So by all means, we want to give you an early warning so that you can get that going. So we want to welcome you again to 2024, the year of divine reciprocity. One definition of reciprocity is, of course, the equal exchange or interchange. Now, we know that the law of attraction teaches us that what we put into the universe is attracted to us. So we're excited to invite you to empower yourself every single day by speaking aloud our mantra for the year. It's on the bottom left of that slide. Let's say it out loud together. I am that I am. I give, I get, I've got it good. Oh, that feels good. I want you to make sure that you say that. Before we get toward our standing ovations, we want to remind you that services going forward, as outlined on the screen, continue First Sundays are in person, and we have a good time because we have our Voices of Infinity and our live music. So listen, first Sunday in July, we want to see you here. We want to see you in the place. Second, third Sunday, today is third, and fourth Sundays, which is Yoga Sunday, we are virtual. So right here where you are, bookmark it, make it one of your favorite pages, put a like on it, do something, subscribe on YouTube. It'll let you know when we're on. And that's where we do and how we do our Sunday gatherings. In between, we also do other special events that we are grateful to have you be a part of. We also next have Yoga Sunday coming up next week. As we are going through the Joy of Healing series, next week is a restorative practice for the healing of your mind, body, and spirit. Yes, Sunday service on 4 Sundays is yoga. So you can practice it virtually at home. Some of you like to go to the park. You tell me you go to your friend's house and get people together. Listen, start your Sunday off before you head out to brunch with Yoga Sunday. I guarantee you, you'll feel amazing. Next, we have Love and Light on Wednesday nights. I want to recognize Love and Light because it's very important for us to acknowledge that we've got a great in-house circle of love that happens every Wednesday night inside our band app. So if you're a member of Infinity, you've been through orientation, you have access to the band app. Do not sleep on Wednesday nights, Love and Light. Terrell and Tashana Lindsley host that every Wednesday. They are there on that app in person, talking to you live. We go over what happens on Sunday and the messages there, and then just provide support and love. It's a wonderful opportunity to be a part of community. So make sure you search that if you're in your band app. Join the Love and Light chat room and look for the notification that comes in every Wednesday night at 7:00 p.m. Next, we have a most exciting event, our first annual Vacation Spirit School. We got people clicking on that link right now. And we might have a link to register that may be in the chat. If not, there's the QR code on the screen. But we want to remind you all that we will have kids and adult classes on world religion, spirituality, and holistic health and more. Campfire and car riding songs from across faith traditions, games, contests, food. We just found out we got 2 more gourmet chefs at Infinity. Oh my gosh, we're gonna have some good food. I mean, literally, we got good food going on. Fun and registration is requested. So listen, register your child here. Adults, you don't have to register. If you want a parent's evening to do something, that's great too. But if you want your child to experience that infinite energy of just global consciousness while they're having fun, then that's June 26th, 27th, 28th, 6 to 8 p.m. right here at the Infinity Center. We also want to acknowledge another event that Infinity is a co-sponsor of. It's a wonderful poetry event that's happening on the evening of June 27th. It is happening on Forest Avenue in East Nashville. It is the Nashville Poetry Party hosted by Andrew McFadden Ketchum, great guy. Y'all know Brother Andrew from Infinity. He is bringing together guest poets. The event is free. And if you want more information, visit the website at the bottom left. This is an event that is going to happen on a regular basis, and we've been pleased to have been asked to be in support of this and to partner with them. There's a QR code on the screen of that flyer as well. Today, you all, we want to acknowledge that it is Father's Day. So we want to say, Happy Father's Day out there. Cue the stadium sounds as we acknowledge our dads. And as Lady Kanitha is coming forward, before we get to standing ovations, we want to acknowledge the power of fathers and dads and the importance of you in your family's lives. We don't get into a space of judgment on relationship or whether the relationship is there or not, what needs to be healed, what maybe people need to make amends for. We know that that's there. We also want to acknowledge this as a day of honor. And so for those of you who are out there, I often tell Sister Kanitha when we're having conversations and we're out in the community, and sometimes you go into communities where fathers are not present. And that can happen in any society, in any world, in any community. And I'm always pleased and privileged, as I said on First Sunday, when people say, well, where are the dad? Where are the fathers? Where are the committed folks? And I say, listen, all I can say is all the people that I know that I'm around are very committed fathers. They're around the kids all the time. And that's what I know. And I am pleased to say that Infinity is a community full of you dads that are awesome. And for those of you who are dads and dads adjacent, we celebrate you today. We hope you do something fun. Yes. Even I lay back off holidays, and I'm probably going to do something fun.
We got him hooked up. You don't know. He don't know what's going on. But if y'all want to give shout outs to, because we do want to honor, we honor all of our fathers, and also we want to honor you too, as well as being a spiritual father here for Infinity as well. So y'all do some shout outs to your dad, to Rev Jeff, to everybody.
Shout out the dads in the chat. Let's do that. Let's do that.
Because it is an important thing, and I always think about this with the balance, especially when you get a chance to see some of the balance. You know, we all have our own kind of testimonies and stories, and I was raised in a single parent household, but I did have a play dad, and y'all were like, what is a play dad? It's the dad who stepped in, Mr. Rogers, Vando Rogers, who actually had my last name.
How about that? Look at the universe.
Look at the universe. But it is so important, and so we just thank you for being such a wonderful father, a wonderful mentor, someone who stands in there for us in the gap. You know, we always have to come to this guy when we need some guidance. He's going to give us some good
We're going to go
guidance.
within. We're going to turn within
Look,
with me.
yes. So happy Father's Day to all of the fathers that are out there. Y'all are working. Big brothers, uncles, mentors, teachers, all of you all who are standing in that gap. You are making a difference. Keep holding on. We see you all. You all are doing the doggone thing. So let's shout out and show some love. Come
Shout
on.
out and sending y'all love and sending y'all energy. Y'all know y'all gonna get a big part of this Standing Ovation, but yeah, that's a great idea. Shout out some dad that you want to say is great in the chat. Put it on there so the world can see. And listen, sometimes dads, I'm going to acknowledge that it can be a thankless task, right?
Yes.
Because you don't become a father, you don't become a dad just to have somebody thank you or honor you. You do it because you're called to do it, and you recognize the responsibility in it. So it's often years later, years later, when everybody grows up, we've all had those reflections. You look back and you say, I appreciate you being there. And that's what the gift is. So thank you for that acknowledgement in the space. Also acknowledge those people in there. And it could be, again, there are families that are structured in different ways. My father was the oldest of 11 kids, and his mom passed when she was 49 years old. So in very many ways, the younger siblings always would come to see my dad, but he was kind of big brother, but he was also part parent and all of that as well. And the older siblings, the sisters, were part parents and nurturing there too. So we know that as we speak in this construct today. So we say, happy Father's Day to you. And one day we're going to come up with Infinity with some Mother's and Father's Day songs. How about that? We write songs about everything else.
Yes, we do.
Ooh, happy Father's Day, shoot it, boo, bow, bow. That's not good. That's going to end up on Church Funnies. Now it is time for Standing Ovations.
Tune your vibration to a high elevation. It's time for the good news, our standing ovation.
Yes, so our high energy at IF comes from our practice of snap. Here it is again. It's why we
Snap.
snap our fingers during this part of the service. We receive practical lessons and tools for our individual journeys. That's spirituality. We fellowship with like-minded spirits every week. That's nurturing. We take what we learn and apply it in our lives. That's action. And if we do these, then every week we see examples of progress in our lives. And yes, that is the proof. So let us pause to enjoy a collective moment of manifestation and an expansion. So this is what's going to happen. When your name is called, please stand wherever you are out there as I read aloud your manifestation. When I finish each person's ovation, we will snap our fingers to celebrate and affirm them, and then provide a collective standing ovation at the end. All righty?
All right, I'm sliding in with my standing ovations. Okay, first standing ovation goes to Sister Angela Bartlett-Treese in the house today. She said her manifestation is that my mother, Geneva Bartlett, celebrated her 88th rotation on June 10th. So blessed and grateful for her. Yes, Mama Bartlett. 88 years. Double eights, double infinities. Powerful year for you. All right, 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday.
Happy
Oh,
birthday!
we love it. Next up, we got Brother Tyrell Lindsley. Yes, you saw he and his beautiful wife's face up on the slide for Love and Light. On June 15th, 2013, I made the greatest, most rewarding decision of my life. I married the most beautiful, kind-hearted, loving spirit in the galaxy. Our union continues to blossom like an infinite rose bush. The array of colors we display are a testament to the work that we have both put forth. The thorns of yesterday's lessons have become protection for tomorrow's blessings. You know, I had to put that cadence was coming through. I am eternally grateful to celebrate and elevate 11 powerful years of happily married life with Tashana Lindsley. Hey! Do you know what today is? It's your anniversary. It's your anniversary. Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary, guys.
We love you, family. 11 years. Man, 11 happy more and infinitely beyond. What a great celebration. All right, we got Deani Thomas, who is in the house. What's up, Deani? Young Deani says, I performed in my 7th annual dance recital on yesterday. She is a dancer.
She's a dancer.
Deani's a dancer.
That baby can dance, honey.
That family
Yes,
talented.
Congratulations.
That family's talented.
Deani.
All right, good. We've got a great standing ovation from Dr. Michaela Bethune.
Yeah.
Dr. Michaela Bethune is watching us right now, and she says, I am in London,
Oh my
bound for
goodness.
Tanzania, and in alignment with my commitment to visit Alkebalan at least once every year. Y'all call it Africa, we call it Alkebalan. There it is, once every year. What a commitment.
Oh my goodness.
Take us with you one day.
Congratulations.
Second standing ovation, which we alluded to. My eldest son, Shawnee, graduated high school on Wednesday. All praises to the Creator.
Oh,
We knew him when he was knee-high to a pup, and now he's a grown-up. All these kids coming through, oh my goodness, they keep growing up. Yes.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. All right. Those are the standing ovations that we have notated in the space today. Do we have anything that we need to notate, Mama, in terms of a wonderful standing ovation?
I think we are ready. Oh, well, for our kids, can I do a couple of
Please,
shout outs?
go ahead.
So for Kamaria, just finished her cheer week, but also made the honor roll. She had A's and B's. Well, they don't say honor roll anymore
They
in
don't
middle school.
anymore, yeah.
But she had A's and B's on her final report card. We're blessings for that. And she just finished her camp for week. Daniel finished out strong his senior year, all A's and B's in
Yes.
IB advanced courses, and is getting set and ready to go to college. And Kai is in the midst of getting ready for competition as well. And so we're so proud of our kiddos. They've
Yes.
been doing the doggone
Everybody's doing the doggone thing.
Yes.
So we're very, 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 very happy. A couple that I'm just going to pick from the chat. Apparently in some people's neighborhoods or areas, YouTube and or Facebook may be coming in and out. So again, you can switch over. Even if you can go to X, if you go to Jeff Obafemi Carr or the Rev Jock on X or Twitter, you can watch the stream there if it gives you trouble. But you can also Facebook, Infinity Fellowship, Facebook, Jeff Obafemi Carr, and then you can also do YouTube, Infinity Fellowship. So keep finding us. We're there, and we'll be on those platforms. Technology can make you happy. It can also give you that little disconnect. But we're going to find a way, and we appreciate you letting us know that. Sister Iris says, Mother Allen, my mom, celebrated 90 times around the sun on June 15th. Come on, Mama. Tell Mama I said hello. I miss her. I called her a while back. I need to call her again. All right. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Oh, we love it. Oh, we love it. We love it. Okay. So I think we caught everybody that's in there. And if we didn't, we'll catch you and bring you up to when we get to standing ovations next time around. So Mama, tell us what we did.
All right, so here's what happens. If you shared, you get to have several seats, while the rest of us, wherever we are going to give a thunderous standing ovation. Okay, here we go. Woo!
Yes. Oh, how awesome is that? I'm going to go to my lavalier. As we get ready to go into the space of love and vibration, I invite you to prepare yourself for the message today. Listen, it is powerful. It is interactive. We got some things that we're going to share with you around this concept of the joy of healing. We also want you to recognize that Third Sunday is very participatory in that this is your opportunity to take notes, to be a part of the service, to be a part of getting your questions answered. So if you're having some issues around today's topic, we of course are going to work through that with you in a powerful way. So don't miss the opportunity to interact, to get online, to be in the spaces, to put your questions in. That's what we're looking forward to. Listen, I want to turn our attention to today's meditation, which comes to us from the scientific community, which is beautiful because you can't really argue science. You can argue some different philosophies, but let's just talk about what energy is. Albert Einstein said that everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. It can be no other way. This is not philosophy. This is physics. Inhale and exhale. Match the frequency. Match the frequency. I always like to leave that up so that those of you who like to take a picture of the slide can do that, and you can have that there for your recognition in the future. You can have that there as something that you can put in your phone or print out and put it on your wall. If you're on socials later on today, if you decide that you want to get on social media, of course, by all means, share that on social media, and we can make sure that people have a general understanding and a specific understanding that sometimes things are not philosophy, they're just reality. Physics is a great learning tool because it teaches us what's real based off scientific and provable knowledge. And guess what? That's all about matching that frequency now. I want to welcome you to the space of If Teaches. Getting my little setup here so I can talk to my folks, talk to my people. As we go to If Teaches, we have an opportunity to invite you in the space to prepare your mind. Rev Jeff is in the chair today. So we're sitting in the chair. That means we're going to have some real talk. I hope y'all ready for some real talk. If you're an infinite streamer and you're in the chat there, somebody say, I'm ready for real talk. I'm ready for real talk. Give it to me. I got my coffee. I got my water. Let's just have a fireside chat, or since it's going to be 97 degrees outside in Nashville, Tennessee, let's just have a HVAC side chat. Let's have a air-conditioned side chat. Just imagine you're sitting, we're all gathered around the air condition. And if it's chilly where you are, we're gathered around the fire. We're talking real talk today. I want to remind you that just like Einstein reminded us that everything is energy, and it's about affixing your frequency to that energy for alignment, that the elders used to do that through song and through energy. And at Infinity, we don't leave anything on the table. We don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. There are old things that we learned in the old church that were very much a part of keeping us from losing our natural mind. And part of those things, and one of those rituals, was communal singing and group singing. It kept us focused on the frequency of God, and the God that we knew and understood and that we still know. And although that energy may be perceived by different names, it's known, physics, by one energy. And so that energy is a frequency, it's a land, it is a space, it is an upper level of elevation. And I invite you just to sing a verse or two with me wherever you are of our song that we sing every third Sunday to keep our traditions alive. Come and go to that land. Come and go to that land. Come and go to that land where I'm bound, where I'm bound. Come and go to that land. Come and go to that land. Come and go to that land where I'm bound. Oh, there is joy in that land. There is joy in that land. There is joy in that land. Where I'm bound, where I'm bound. There is joy in that land. There is joy in that land. There is joy in that land where I'm bound. Oh, all of my people are in that land. All of my people are in that land. I said it, all of my people are in that land where I'm bound, where I'm bound. I said that all of my people are in that land. I ain't alone, 'cause all of my people are in that land. Oh, all of my people are in that land where I'm bound. Don't you want to go to that land? Don't you want to go to that land? Don't you want to go to that land where I'm bound, where I'm bound? Let me hear ya. Don't you want to go to that land? Don't you want to go to that land? Oh, don't you want to go to that land where I'm bound? Oh, where I'm bound. Inhale and exhale. Come to the space of awareness and acknowledgement. Y'all, I'm so glad we get to have this little time together. I'm so glad we get a chance to talk about this energy. Now, you know, all month we've been talking about the joy of healing. And that joy of healing has been powerful because we started out with our examination. Y'all remember First Sunday? If you didn't watch First Sunday, go back and watch it. We examined. Because when you're talking about healing and the joy of healing, you got to go through the process. First Sunday was examination, right? What brings you in today? Our second Sunday last week, we went through diagnosis. And we got kind of jiggy with it, Lady Kanitha. We got with it. We talked about many of us having a diagnosis of spiritual diarrhea, taking in a lot but not retaining anything. Oh, Lord, 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 my. Yeah, that was a good one too, and we got to it. But now we're at the third stage, which is prognosis. Prognosis is what is the path going forward. And so when we talk about prognosis, today's topic is the state of your reunion. The state of your reunion. And you see this on the screen here, because when we're on this screen, I really want to tie this energy to something that Einstein said. And that is that we are trying to match the frequency. Right? That is the goal, to match the frequency. So if we're going to match the frequency, then what frequency are we talking about? Because the is a definite article. So if we're talking about matching, which is alignment, of a definite article which points to something singular, what frequency are we talking about? If anybody wants to guess online, you can, but I'm going to go ahead and get us to this because we need to move through this. Joyful healing. And when we do this assessment and this prognosis of joyful healing, that is what we're all seeking for. And I want to tell you that after an examination, after a philosophical, a theosophical, an ontological, an anthropological examination of the body of people who are tuned into this service, who are either here in person on First Sunday or here at any other time. I can tell you that after examination, after diagnosis, we're here to give you the prognosis. Everybody take a deep breath. Exhale. Now, are you sitting down? That's what the doctor would say. Are you sitting down? But you don't have to be sitting down, because I'm going to give you an excellent prognosis. The prognosis is the outlook is good. Turn to somebody and say, the outlook is good. In the chat box, I need you to go ahead and say, because I'm going to be watching you in a minute to get some of these Q&As and chats and comments that you have. But say to somebody in the chat, hey, the outlook is good. The prognosis is clear. So we're going to turn to our diagram here, because I got something on here that came up when we talked about the state of your reunion. We know that when we're talking about the state of the union, we're talking about the being the United States, right? The state of the union. What about the reunion? Re means a prefix to go back or again. So that means that we are reconnecting you to the prognosis, and the outlook is good. Everything is good. I've got it. I've got it. Oh, I've got it good. Okay. So the outlook is good, you all. But on this diagram, the Spirit was downloading this to me for today's download. It was giving it to me. What I saw was a stoplight. Because you're wondering, you're like, what is this thing right here, Rev Jeff? What does that have to do with anything? Well, that's a stoplight. And the stoplight has three colors. What are they? Red, yellow, and green. Red, what does that mean in the chat box? I'm not going to wait for you, but I'd love to see it in there. Red means what? Stop. Yellow means what? See, my people in the tech crew, they're quiet back there too. It means caution. Green means what? Go. There we go. Stop, caution, and go. Now, when we talk about this from a spiritual perspective, stop means to reassess. Now, when I talk about that, we talk about reassessment. When we think about this, I want you, for the rest of this brief dialogue before we get into the talk back and Q&A, I want you to think about how you are reunifying yourself to spiritual practices that work for you. And I want you to actually take a deep breath, close your eyes with me. And I want you to see the stoplight in front of you. It can be hanging, it can be on the side of the road, depending on where you are. Take a deep breath, because this is a universal principle. Inhale and exhale. And I want you to see that bright red light come on. And you can open your eyes. The stoplight, in a spiritual sense, just like in a physical sense, it means to stay still. Stopping is about reassessing the choices and environments that made you sick in the first place and took your joy. Sometimes you have to bring everything to a close, to a halt, to make an assessment on where you are so that you can look around and get your bearings. The yellow, which means caution. In a spiritual sense, it means to look around. It means awareness. See, I know y'all at home right now. You're writing this down, because today, I'm promising you, today we're dealing with practical tools. Everything that you get today is about joyful healing, and it is a tool that you will use, that you can use should you accept the mission to provide healing for the spaces that need healing in your life. I'm going to ask you to assess those spaces in a minute. Because right now, with the yellow light that you see coming alive in your mind's eye, you're looking around to check the situation. cautiously, meticulously making sure that you're aware of what's going on. And then go, as we go back to the pad, equals movement. How many people want to see movement in their lives? If you want to see movement, say, I do. You can say, I'm moving. Give me something in that chat to let you know, that let us know that we are in this frequency right now. Because if you're ready to see movement, you can't see movement without going through the process of stop, taking caution, and then going so that you are protected in the direction that you are projected to go in. This is your opportunity now. And if you have not been healed, much healing comes from blockages, an overabundance of mucus in our bodies produces the common cold or fevers. When we have a blockage in an artery, it produces heart disease. When we have a blockage in our brains, in the flow to our brains, it can cause stroke. A lot is caused by blockage. So many of us simply need to clear the blockages so that we can now move forward toward healing. What blockages do you have in your life today, right now? Because when you get blockages, even in your intestinal series system, tying back to last week, spiritual diarrhea, right? You got some things happening that are clear, but you also have spiritual constipation. That's when things are stuck inside you, you can't get them out. If you find yourself in that position, if you find yourself, and we all do, let me say this. So I don't want anybody out there thinking that everybody in this space is operating from perfection. We're not. And we're not expecting you to operate from perfection, except to the degree that you are always working toward perfection. It is the quest for perfection that is enough, and therefore the journey is the destination. So in this moment, how do we clear? Well, we're going to look at a tangible way for you to begin to hit the reset button. Are y'all ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? I know you're ready. Take a deep breath here. Exhale and let it go. All right. I'm going to leave you with 3 things that I want you to do to help get things moving and flowing in the world. I want you to get 3 things together. All right. First thing that you do, I'm going to the pad. Number 1, just like if we were biologically having a problem, this is a way that you can deal with it in a holistic way. Number 1, start a fast to clear your spiritual system of that which ails it. Start a fast to clear your spiritual system of that which ails it. When we see the concept of fasting, and those of you who have practiced fasting before, you've seen some amazing results. And I don't mean that you have to go on a 40-day fast. I don't mean that you have to go 8-9 days without eating or drinking or anything like that. That's not what we're talking about. We hear fast, we get scared sometimes. But as a person who has practiced fasting over the years, there are times where you fast completely so that you find out what it is that was bothering you and you eliminate it from your system. That's physiological and physical and spiritual. There are things that you sometimes do that you fast from. Some people have to fast from sugar, fast from alcohol, fast from drugs, fast from social media, fast from negative conversations, fast from, oh yeah, light up the chat. Tell me something if you dare that you need to fast from. If you be transparent with me, I guarantee you'll see some change in your life. I'm transparent with you. There are things that I've had to fast from recently. Some of you have to fast from negative thinking because negative thinking is ailing you. Some of you have to fast from people who are not pouring into you and lifting you up. Those things are ailing you. Some of us have to fast from a desire to be known, from a desire to be needed, from a desire to be wanted, from a desire to be accepted. And those are the very things that are ailing us. Hit the stop button. See the red light. Stop so that you can see what is happening in your life. When we go to our spiritual teachers, there's a reason why Jesus fasted in the wilderness, to cleanse and to clear his physical vessel so that he could hear from his divine spiritual connection of I am that I am, small I am to big I am. Fasting produced that. When we talk about the holiday in Christendom of Lent, Lent is about fasting from the things that harmed you so that you can open yourself up for a space of resurrection. Ramadan is about clearing those spaces out during the daylight hours so that you can become more centered and focused on praise, admonition, grace, all of the recognition of the good that comes to you. So you can ask yourself the question, what do I feel I cannot do without? And I'm throwing a dash, even if it is harming me. I want you to ask yourself that question. What do I feel I cannot do without, even if it is harming me? Because that is probably what your problem is. It's something that you have convinced yourself that you can't live without. And this is where the space of addiction comes. And when we talk about addiction, we can talk about addiction and say, well, addiction is to drugs. Addiction is to attention. Attention is to sugar. Attention is to praise. Addiction. Addiction is to negativity. Y'all don't think so? Look at some of the popular television shows out there where people are always weave snatching and going crazy. It's negativity, and we're fed, and we tell ourselves, well, I just watch it for entertainment. Osmosis is happening to you right now. You're absorbing things whether you know it or not. If you feel you can't do without it, here's suggestion number one for the path to joyful healing. Hit the pause. Hit the pause. Get down low and hit the pause. Hit the stop button so that it does not control you. Now, here's the thing. Just like with fasting, I don't recognize or I don't recommend extremes. Don't feel as if you have to cut everything out cold turkey. There are some things that you have to step back slowly on. Because if you feel like you're going to instantly go into a 21-day environment where you say 21 days, I'm only going to speak good. You're going to be angry when at 18 hours in, somebody makes you angry and you set yourself back because you set this extreme level. That's why you go day to day, moment to moment. And just like if you're trying to cleanse your system of something that ails it and you're trying to ease back off sugar, ease back off sugar. Get a substitute that's going to be a more healthy alternative. But make it so that you ease the symptoms of withdrawal. Sometimes the withdrawal is painful. So sometimes you're going to have to withdraw from the people, places, and things that ail you. And the withdrawal is going to be painful. Why? Because it comes down to what David Hawkins talks about in Power versus Force. What you perceive to be love and need is not love and need. It is two words that I'm going to write right here. It's not love. Lobo. I was thinking of somebody. It's not love, but it is addictive sentimentality. Meditate on that. So which one is it? Is it love or is it addictive sentimentality? Is it you going back in your mind and saying, oh, well, things that, when they're good, they're so good, or that person makes me laugh so much, or, oh, I just love the way they make me feel. Although you feel terrible after they're gone, although you feel lesser than, although you feel put on the back burner, all of those things that come up, begin to ask yourself, what do I need to fast from in this space? And what do I need to continually give myself? Because even in the prognosis of something good, what you're receiving right now is holistic medicine, baby. And you got to take medicine sometimes more than once a day. So your holistic spiritual medicine today is to fast. That's your first prescription. Fast from those things that ail you. If you can do that, the next thing that I want you to do is to move to the space of yellow. That's the yellow. That's the space of looking around and awareness. And from your space of awareness, from your space of clarity, embrace the practices you promised yourself but haven't delivered on consistently. Take a deep breath there. Remember the practices that you promised you would get into? What were some of those practices? Some of y'all might be transparent and say, here's some of the things I'm supposed to deliver on. Some people say, well, I was going to eat better. Somebody said I was going to start my day in prayer. I was going to meditate more. I was not going to bite on negative conversations. I was not going to participate in gossip. I was not going to be mean to people because I recognize that many people are operating based on energy and information that they got that may be limited. I'm going to practice gratitude every day by writing in a gratitude journal, or at least starting my day by looking in the mirror and say, I'm grateful just to be here and conscious. I'm going to speak with elders. What are some more, y'all? Give me some in the chat. There are plenty of them that we've all had in this space. But once you get to a space of clarity, which comes after fasting from the negativity, you have to embrace the things that practices that you promised yourself, but have not delivered on consistently. What happens when you do not deliver on your very own promises? When you break your word to yourself, it leads to a spiral that leads you into a vortex of depression, self-doubt, and self-criticism. And it's difficult to get out. Even when you're around people who remind you that you're beautiful and bold and bright and awesome and everything is good, you have fallen so deep into the vortex of negativity that you begin to fight people who try to help you out. Smooch went to a little pool event yesterday. We had to give her a pool etiquette. We had to give her a reminder, if you will, affirmation of pool etiquette when you're around other kids. And one of the things that Lady Kanitha had said that I thought was awesome is she was like, listen, don't go beyond where you're capable of swimming. So if you get to the point where you're on your tiptoes, just for the sake of safety, just back up a little bit, especially if it's a crowded pool. And if somebody is drowning and you're not trained to help them, you scream for help so that they can get the help. Because as my dad used to tell me, Happy Father's Day in heaven, Haywood, what he used to tell me is, if somebody's drowning and you're not trained as a lifeguard and you go try to save them, they will drown you to stay alive. And sometimes when you're around people drowning, you have to grab them and take them under the water, making them more fearful so they can say, what's going on? So they can let you know, you can let them know, I'm here to help you, but you're not going to kill both of us. Just relax and let go. But the first thing you have to do is be mindful that when people are in a vortex, when they are drowning in negativity, when they're drowning in self-doubt, when they're drowning in trying to make sure that you feel as if you're wrong and that they are right because they're reading from one book over another, or because somebody trained them up in a different school, or they gave them a different skin color, whatever those social constructs that may be that breed superiority, you get around that. In a person in a negative vibration like that, you can get caught in the same vibration. So do not do it to yourself, and do not participate in doing it with other people. Again, you have stopped. Now with the yellow light, you're in a space of clarity. So I want you to help me out here, infinite streamers, as we get ready to go to our last point, but I want to keep this point up on the screen. I'm going to ask you a question to share one thing, because confession is good for the soul. Share one thing in the chat. One thing that you know you need to deliver on consistently. And the reason why I'm asking you to share is because there are some people out there who are terrified of being transparent and authentic, but I guarantee you, you're going to speak something that is going to resonate for them. And you're not speaking it so that we proclaim that current state to be true. You are speaking it in proclamation of what will be. You are making a new promise today. I will do this. I will now. I am doing this now. You are making it a present proclamation for the promise of a great future. Trust it. Show some things, because guess what? Someone may get something from what you promised yourself to do that they never thought of doing for themselves. Good spiritual practice, y'all. Communal spiritual practice. Let me ask you a question and I'm going to write out for you. Who needs to hear from you? Who needs to hear from you? Who needs to hear from you because they're lonely? Who needs to hear from you because they are forgotten? Who needs to hear from you because they may be aged and they may not be here long? Who needs to hear from you because there's a relationship that has been broken? Who needs to hear from you because they are doing good things and people may not be affirming them? Who needs to hear from you because they are awesome and don't recognize it themselves? Who needs to hear from you because they have a great accomplishment and just 10 seconds on the phone saying, listen, I read about what you're doing and I just want you to know that I'm proud of you. And that's all. Who needs to get a text that says something that is affirming today? Because guess what? If you're not hearing something that is affirming, then you often get confused and lost. Because without affirmation, it can be lonely out in the world. And I want to encourage you, because some of you right now, I know in the chat, I'm going to look and see in a second, but I know in the chat that some people need a fast from social media. Somebody out there needs that because they've gotten so far away from themselves. And I know we live in a world of influencers, and Lady Kanitha and I, we talk about this. We live in a world of influencers where people become famous on the internet. And to some degree, that's pretty awesome, because it gives you an opportunity to make a living for yourself that you may not have had before. You don't have to wait to get discovered by a network. You can be discovered through your camera lens. And that is awesome enough. However, we now create a space of competition where people try to enter into the social media space and become stars, and they have difficulty because they're looking at what's successful for other people and they start trying to do the exact same thing. And you get frustrated. And here's the secret to why you're getting frustrated. Every single Sunday I tell you, it's a universal principle in the law of attraction that there is only one you, and there's only something that you're supposed to give to the world. And you're having a problem breaking through and getting everybody to like and follow because you're trying too hard to sound like people who are only successful because they've gotten good at sounding like themselves. How ironic is that? How ironic is that? You're trying so hard to sound like people who are only trying to sound like their true selves. So they've gotten good at it, and you're trying to get good at being a photocopy or a scan? No. You deserve, your dreams deserve, your very purpose for being here deserves you exploring and finding your own voice. And if you got to stop and you got to assess and look around and you got to drop those things that are not serving you to hear and to find that voice, so be it. This is your day. This is your day. Somebody in the chat said, this is my day. I got my voice. I'm focusing on my voice because my voice is in the infinite connection of things, the connectivity of things. Your voice is the divine spark that God is looking for to continue to communicate all of the omnipotence that we need. That's why you hear it everywhere. You hear it every. Stereo sound is about bouncing sounds off two speaker outputs so that you can hear it in real time because you're surrounded by the balance energy in both ears. If it's mono, it's coming through one channel. Doesn't sound natural. Stereo mimics the human mind and the vibrational frequency that goes into our ears. So that means that sound is coming from all directions. You got a stereo output that is coming directly from you, where your voice is needed to help be a part of the community of voices that guides us all deeper into our divine purpose. So stop trying so hard to sound like people who are doing a really good job at sounding like themselves. We want to hear your voice now. We want to see your contribution to the world. And it may be love. It may be bringing joy into people's lives. It doesn't mean that you're going to always win a Nobel Peace Prize. For those who will, so be it. It may be that in this cadre of students, in this cohort of people that I am working with for these next 6 months, in my household, I'm going to just be here for them. And when I travel on and transition on, they will be able to call my name in honored spaces and say, I showed up and I was present. I wasn't perfect, but I was there when I was called upon, and I did everything that I could to contribute and to pour in, and as a result, I am blessed. And as I transition out of this physical space, I will be blessed even more by the remembrance of those who pour something out at the church or pour something on the corner in my name and call my name with good and energy in their lives and in their minds. So find that. Can you find that? I dare you. I challenge you. I implore you. Let's do it. The last thing I want to turn us to is that green light, because we're giving good medicine today. Good medicine. And good medication is best taken with meals. It's getting very practical in here. And this is where I move from the esoteric. We got the red, right? We got the yellow. We got the green. This is where you go. So this go point, point number 3, is the go point. And the go point comes with the instruction and the reminder that good medication is best taken with meals. The state of your family, the state of your consciousness, the prognosis for you is around the concept of reunion. And when we think of reunification, whether it's two countries that were split, whether it was a company that was split, whether it was the reunification of mind and body, whether it's the reunification of the spirit head or the ori with the brain that's in this physical body, there's no greater definition or example, rather, of reunification than reunion that takes place with family. And what happens at a family reunion? You get together, and the number one thing you do is you eat. If you don't have food at your family reunion, it's not a family reunion, it's a family meeting. And if they had a family meeting, they should have brought some food to that too. But what makes a family reunion so good? Oh, it's the food. See, you've already hit the stop button on the things that ail you. You've now looked around cautiously and you've begun to surround yourself in a space of awareness around goodness. So now it's time to eat again. It's time to heal again. And when you're eating holistic food, it also goes to the notion of spiritual food. And when you talk about a family reunion, oh my gosh, you know who got the good cornbread? You know who got the good mac and cheese? You know who got the good greens? You know who got the good chest pie? You know who got the good sweet potato pie? Who got the 5-pound cake? Y'all know my mama. My mama, that pound cake. Lord have mercy. Should have requested it for Father's Day. I didn't think about it, but Father's Day deferred, and we'll take that. What happens to a pound cake deferred? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun? No, it stays. You put it in the microwave and you keep eating it. When we talk about family reunion, you think about that. All of those colloquial things that we bring to mind, whether it's food, whether it's fellowship, do not underestimate the power of medication that can be best taken with meals. Start to have sit-down meals with family. I'm going to draw a table here. Y'all ever had the table where you have that connector in the middle, right? And it's missing, but you got to find a way to find it. So you have this table, and this table is called family. And I'm talking in real practical terms because some people are like, you know what? I don't have time for all of that because my family is very, very busy. And some people say, well, I don't have family like y'all have, so I don't fit in this category. Let me go to Remarkable and tell you about two things that came from me. On the left-hand side, you have the family of your birth, right? That you came through, that you relatives, moms, dads, uncles, cousins, you have the family of your birth, but you also have no excuse because you have the family that you have birthed into the world. So if you can't sit down with the family of your birth, you can sit down to the family that you get to birth going forward. And that family may be friends. It may be colleagues. It could be spiritual community. But the connector to whether it's blood or everything else is this connector piece in the middle. And this connector piece has a name. You. You are the connector in this thing. And what I'm going to do for you now is because we're going to keep this up. We won't keep this is going to be important for y'all to understand this. When we talk about this connector, we want you to have a meal. I'm going to give you this assignment. Y'all ready for it? Once a month, sit down and have a meal with your family. Call it family dinner. We do it once a month, and sometimes we do it more by de facto. We do Saturday stuff, but listen, the concept of sharing a meal together. And look, lose the depth. Take a deep breath. Exhale. Lose all the esoteric stuff right now. Get your folks together and eat. We're just talking practical. Get your folks together and eat. We have come to a space in society where we used to catch up around the dinner table. We used to sit and talk and learn about each other and our dreams and build relationships. And now, when it's time to eat, we disperse in 12 different directions. Or we go on the restaurant circuit and we go and experience people for 45 minutes and then it's over. But here's what I've got. Gather people together once a month, make the commitment to have a meal, whether it's family, whether it's friends, whether it's a combination of both, whether it is the birth family of birth or the birth family, get together once a month. So, and somebody in the chat just say, I will. And the reason why I'm going to say this is during that time, that is a space of healing. Medication is best taken with meals. I'm going to give you some prompts. See, we used to say things like we see it on Leave It to Beaver. How was your day, June? Oh, it was great, Ward. All of that empty stuff. Questions to start asking. What are you most excited by? Or excited about these days? I'm asking my Infinity family and everybody else. Conversation starters, I want you to put them in the chat so that somebody's watching this and they're getting ready for their family meal. They can say, oh, that's a good question. I'm going to ask that in my family. If you have questions that you've asked in your family that have worked, go ahead and put them in the chat as well so we can get to that space of goodness, so we can get to that space of healing together, so we can get to that space of knowing what we're doing. What are we most excited about these days? What brings you joy? What have you achieved? that gives you life. Any other questions in here? I'm gonna make my way over to the stream so that I can see some things in here. But if you have some other questions, if you have some other spaces, you can do all of that with us now. I'm gonna go ahead and join the stream. I want you to put questions, those comments in there. So that I can see what's going on the right-hand side. Look, I hear you. I see y'all. I see everybody in there. If you have a question, comment, or observation, it is now open. The chat is open. Look, what scares you the most? I hear that. Look at that. That came from the chat there. Courtney, you got a great question. What scares you the most? What are you most proud of? Listen to these questions that are coming in on the chat, you all. These are things that we are dealing with in this space today. So listen, as we are in this space of reunion, my prognosis for you is to know that everything is working for your good. We're going to start this piece by piece in very practical ways. When we get to Vacation Spirit School, we're going to go to practical ways to get through that. We're going to give you tools in that way as well. But listen, we want to talk about healing. And I'm telling you, it starts with food. And I'm going to tell you another assignment. I'm going to give you another assignment around this. Don't cheat by going to brunch. Don't cheat by going to brunch. I want you to open your home. And I want you to do some home-cooked meals. I want you, if you're doing a potluck, to ask people to cook something, because when people are mindfully putting their energy into the preparation of food for people that they love, it hits different. And to some, this may be a foreign concept. But that's why I say, you've got at least a friend or two that you can invite over for a meal once a month. And begin to ask these questions in conversations and see how it nurtures you spiritually. Because what we are missing in the space, we are missing in the space of healing is connectivity to one another. And if you have a conflict with people, it is often better resolved over a good meal. When you have an opportunity to demonstrate that I love you because I have prepared this for you. In the Bible, Jesus said, behold, I go to prepare a place for you so that where I am, you may be also. There's this concept of preparation. And when you're preparing things, you are opening a door for someone to say, my heart is pure. But when you separate it and say, well, we're just going to go out to eat together one day, then your experiences is whether the waiter was good or not, whether the food tastes right or not. You got a stranger in the kitchen performing what they hopefully love, preparing what they hopefully love, and hope they think is good. But in the reality, it may or may not be. It just may be a job for them. But when you're sitting down for a meal with people who are consciously preparing it, you feel the energy and the essence that is in every morsel of that food. And that intent shows through. So listen, this is the initiative that I'm leaving you with today. It speaks. This is the initiative of stop, yellow, and go. This is the initiative that the state of your reunion is good. This is letting you know that we're going to spark from this a brand new spiritual practice. That spiritual practice, if you don't have it, is monthly dinner. And we've seen the advent of change in our lives, even in our own family, but the power of coming together once a month to sit down and talk. Some of you might say, you know what, this is so good, we're going to do this once a week. Some of you might say, hey, we're going to make this a 2 or 3 night ritual if you got that. But whatever it is, you're going to see a change in that space today. So let us go to this space. I want to see if there's any questions or comments that are in the If Teaches space today before we wrap up, because we've had a great Sunday and it is Father's Day. And many of you are going to eat a home-cooked meal. And many of us are going to eat some kind of meal that's going to be cooked from somebody who bought it for us because they were happy to be at home. And I love it too, whatever it may be. Don't see any questions in the chat. Do you have anything that you wanted to point out, Sister Kanitha, before I? Oh, gotcha.
But, I do want to say something about the medication, the meal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Turn on Lady Kanitha's mic. I knew something was going on there.
What I was
coming
going to
in.
say about that third point, medication is best taken with meals. I also was thinking about how, like, I think about with Kai, if there's an iron pill that she has to take, she always has to take it with with food, because the food soothes the stomach and the lining of the stomach, so that the medicine it takes a little bit better and it doesn't hurt your system. So I thought about that with the meals, you know, us getting together as you're expanding, as you're healing yourself and you're going through this joyful healing process. That's the importance also of like that spiritual food or just food with family. You know, when we're receiving that medicine, it kind of soothes those linings.
Yes, yes, it does. Yes, it does. And so we are very, very happy for that. And listen, that's right. Think about this. Anytime you think about, like Sister Kenitha said, that's why we say medication is best taken with meals, right? So it's best to have difficult conversations with meals. Sometimes the medication doesn't taste great. Sometimes it may cause problems when it's given by itself, but you can ease that track and ease that path in a powerful way by taking it with a meal. Now, listen, I'm going to give a caution out here for everybody out there who said it. I don't want you all to use a meal to completely unload on somebody.
No.
Don't do that. Don't invite somebody to the house, feed them food, and say, well, listen, I just wanted to tell you, Johnny, how destructive a force you've been in our family. Come on, man. Don't ambush anybody. That's not what it's about. Remember, joyful healing. Joyful healing. Another note that you can have is after the meal, Lady Kenitha said it, play some games, have some conversation. Have some questions that are interactive with one another. Again, we tend to think, we have been trained to think that everything that we do as a family has to be external. So instead of having a conversation, we eat and then go watch a movie, and that's fine. That's okay. But do not miss this rich opportunity for joyful healing, because what we're in the process of doing with this entire series is moving to a space where we are given the practical tools. And sometimes it's as simple as saying, when is the last time I shared a meal with the people who I say I care about? And when is the last time I went through preparing a meal with them or for them and inviting them into a space of vulnerability that will help us all grow? That is your homework assignment. That is the space that you were in there. When a question came in from Courtney, did we say how long you were encouraged to fast? I look at this this way. You fast until you gain clarity. So just like if you are having issues in a dietary way, you may decide, I'm just going to do 3 days of this and see how I feel. And you recognize after the third day that your body is responding better to the change in diet, then there you are. It's not going to happen instantly overnight. So you can't say, okay, I'm just going to drop this for a day and see what happens. Take it incrementally. So if your behavior has been that you tend to reach back out to people who have poured into you negatively, then you need to fast on doing that for a month. Fast 21 days on something that physiologically does not agree with your body. Fast on those things that are contributing to your physical harm. Inactivity is contributing to it. Not exercising, not drinking enough water, not being mindful of having conversations and checking in emotionally with the people who are there. Do it for 21 days. If you can't find any other period, find 21 days, because it has been proven through many social studies that 21 days establishes a new habit. And we want the habit of goodness. Great question, Dr. Courtney. We appreciate that. Okay, listen, as we get ready to wrap this, pass the mic to Tony, please, baby, so Tony can give a question from the back. Yes, indeed, and we are live, so we're going to keep this energy going into space today.
All right.
All right, Tony's question is coming in for everybody who's taking notes as we get ready to wrap service.
All right. Basically, my question is that lately for me, I'm actually been in a place of having to let go of a lot of like nouns, even as far as food, certain drinks, whatnot, sugar, things of that nature. and of course even content that we happen to watch. And I think the one thing I'm still kind of working on and dealing with is, when you go into certain places like workplaces or either certain environments where, let's say you have people who happen to be a part of your community, but you're trying to let them go because you're basically on your way to a different place in your life where those people don't serve a purpose as far as your journey goes. So I wanted to just try and ask, like, what's the best way to go about when it comes to as you're moving forward and you're having to let certain people go and whatnot, where you're staying on course, but not letting whatever they do influence you or put you in the wrong way, especially if they may have rubbed you the wrong way or may not have been treating you in the way that is best serving to you in your journey.
How do you deal with, by that you mean, how do you deal with wanting to stay around them?
Well, I would say as far as when you happen to be around them, I guess the best way to put it like this, like, of course, I'm in the theater, like last night I went to a show last night, and, there were certain people who could have been there, but they weren't there or whatnot. But if they happened to have been there, of course, it's one of those things where we may have had a not so good experience at certain times, or let's just say they may have done something towards me that something wasn't fitting to myself, but I'm in a different place now. So I guess the real thing is, how do I go about when it comes to saying, okay, I'm on this path right now. I'm still trying to be friendly, but at the same time, I also know this person happens to behave this certain way whenever I'm around them. So
Okay. All right. Take me to remarkable. We're going to frame that as, how do you deal with encountering past negative people, right? Or people you may have been uncomfortable with or around, whatever it may be. How do you deal with encountering past negative people? Number one, forgiveness. If you have truly practiced forgiveness and you have moved on for that person, you have no need to carry around fear or anxiety. The other thing that you have to have is forgiveness, not just for that person, but the thing that gives you strength is forgiveness of self. Because what forgiveness of self eliminates is discomfort. It eliminates embarrassment. Somebody knows what I'm talking about out there. You get around folks that you've been in previous parts of your life and things make you uncomfortable. He's like, I got to be around them. Listen, if you've forgiven the situation, it has no more power over you. So check your forgiveness. Check and see where you are. If there are still things that come up, of course, that means that there is some forgiveness work that needs to be done. Is the forgiveness for that person who you feel had malice toward you, or could have perhaps just done that because they were operating on the best way they could with the information they have? Or is the forgiveness from yourself? Do you have to forgive yourself for allowing yourself to seek that person's attention for affirmation? Because once you forgive yourself, you are no longer bound to and held to those definitions and machinations that take place when you encounter those people, places, and things. The other thing is, if you've grown beyond places, don't go back into them. You don't have to keep going back to places. If you feel you have to keep going back to something, that's like the person who is suffering from withdrawal from a substance. You get clear of it for a day or two and you're like, hey, I can do this. But on that third or fourth day, on that third or fourth week, you start saying, man, it felt so good though back in the day and you start to doubt and question your choices. It is in the moment when you begin to doubt and question those choices that you have to stay strong. And you have to remember why you got on this journey of fasting and resetting in the first place. And that you are now going in a different direction. A direction that is better, a direction that is wiser, a direction that brings more joy in the space of healing, because the prognosis is very, very good. And if you feel that tinge is just a signal. We talked about contrast last week, that it's just a signal that there are some things that you might need to explore a little deeper. And do that with a good meal. All right. Questions? Okay, great. So listen, we're in the space now. I want to give a brief announcement because we don't know what the issue is, do we? We're gonna figure out. We have an issue with Cash App. We got technical difficulties with receiving Cash App. So we don't know what that means right now, but it isn't recording payments, and we know many of you are out there giving. So we're going to ask you to do two things: give via the PayPal link, which we'll put up at the end of service again. If you can give through the PayPal link, still be able to record it. Even if you don't have PayPal, you can use your debit card for that. We appreciate you helping us through that. Also check later on today, because after service, we're going to look and see what that issue may be. Check into that, and we're going to get that good. And we thank you for letting us know about it. We're going to jump on that immediately and get that into a secure space so we can make sure that you can continue to practice spiritually what is working for all of us. So thank you. That happened. I'm like myself. I'm like, wait a minute. I don't block my blessing, Cash App. Don't block my blessing. So we're going to get that in order. Listen, I want us to take a deep breath. We're going to turn to a space where we can say a brief perm, and we can seal the energy that is in the room today. It's been a good energy. It's been an awesome energy. And I appreciate you coming in and having this fireside chat on Third Sunday with us, because this is how we provide the healing. Also, send us an email, send us a text. Let us know how those meals worked out after those meals were launched. Family dinners. Take a deep breath here. Sit a little taller in the seat if you're sitting with me. Exhale and release and let it go. Closing the eyes, bowing the heads, coming into the space of divine awareness. Divine Spirit, we speak to you in this moment right now as we seal this fellowship we call infinity. We give thanks for the voices that are gathered here, for the healing that has gone forth in this joyful space of prognosis, proclaiming together that the prognosis is good. The outlook is good. The vision is clear right now. We are on the healing journey. And so because we are on the healing journey, we recognize that we are made of power, that we are beings that are made of empathy, that we are beings that are made from a space of joy. And as the cosmic connectivity came together to produce us as physical beings, we recognize that the cosmic energy flowed first from the space where you exist continually. And that we as spirits navigating the human experience are here to grow and to live life and life more abundantly. And so we give thanks in this moment. We give thanks today for the words and proclamations and the actions that are absorbed in this moment. Repeat after me. I am on the healing journey.
I am on the healing journey.
The state of my reunion is good.
The state of my reunion is good.
I am powerful.
I am powerful.
I am empathetic.
I am empathetic.
I am joyfully healed.
I am joyfully healed.
I proclaim it as such.
I proclaim it as such.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Amen.
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 Hotep.
Hotep.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Ashe.
Ashe.
So it is done. You all, I want to thank you for joining us for Infinity Fellowship today as we close out. As you hear that familiar song coming into your consciousness, I remind you that you are absolutely loved and that there's not anything that you can do to battle against it, because we love you like that. This has been Reverend Jeff Obafemi Carr, the entire Infinity Fellowship family, reminding you that everything is working in your favor. And I speak from this place that the love of the God of your acceptance and understanding, the infinite power of the divine source and Holy Spirit and ancestors rest, rule, rock, and abide with you henceforth, now, and this day forevermore forward. We pronounce it as such, and so it is. Let us say the words of affirmation together. Amen.
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 Hotep.
Hotep.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Ashe.
Ashe.
We'll see you next week for Yoga Sunday. Peace and blessings.